Columbia, South Carolina. LSU goes into South Carolina and steals. I don't use this term lightly. Steals a win. 36-33. Here's the question. Did the Bayou Bengals and the Black and White Zebras collaborate together? Let's sum it up this way, actually. Officiating in this sport is broken. It's actually broken. Can this thing be fixed? I'm going to spend more time talking about this than I am, what is, the South Carolina LSU game. Because here's what this game came down to. With about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, LSU is driving the field, getting ready to put the ball in the end zone until they don't. Nussmeier is baited into a throw that he shouldn't have made. South Carolina disguises things well. Or maybe Nussmeier just didn't see it and like, heck, he's down there somewhere. Puts it right into the hands of the defender, who streaks down the left sideline. Touchdown, Gamecocks. The rooster is crowing. Columbia is hot. Willie B is bumping until it's not. This call or this play is negated and called back by one of the worst calls I have ever seen. Before this, I would say the worst call that I've ever seen would be maybe the 2001 national championship game, Miami, Ohio State, on what was not defensive pass interference that negated a national championship for Miami and put it in the hands of Ohio State. But what you have here is this is called back because one of the South Carolina defenders only puts his hands on the shoulders of what was quarterback Nussmeier. And I say what was is because once that ball hits the defender's hands, he's no longer the quarterback. We got to change this perspective. He's no longer the quarterback. Nussmeier goes to the ground, sails it. Absolutely. I mean, hand this guy a Grammy for this. Laying down, acting like he's, stop. Stop with this mess. There's no blindside block. There's no defenseless play. There's none of it. It's terrible. It is atrocious. It is hideous. And I feel for South Carolina fans. I feel for you. I don't like you. I loathe you. You drive me insane. But I feel for you. What happened to you on Saturday is inexcusable. What was going to give you the lead, what was going to basically seal this game for you, at least give you a much better shot of walking out of Williams-Brice with a win, taken away from you, right out of your hands. And if I'm Shane Beamer, I'm all up in Greg Sankey's ear. Which, if I know Beamer, which I don't know him personally, wouldn't be surprised if he already is, because he's fighting for his job. Now, let's use that to transition a little bit. Because, hey, at the end of the day, nothing we can do about it. The only thing that I would say in closing on the officiating thing is make these guys full-time. The fact that your officiating crews in college football, the money elephant that is college football, to have part-time referees and umpires and officiants is ludicrous. Make these guys full-time and make them accountable. Make them full-time, make them accountable. There's an easy way to fix that. But for whatever reason, which I think I know the reason, I think the NCAA doesn't want to, get into this frustration, this fight, just something else for them to deal with. So they take an extremely passive approach to it and allow teams like South Carolina to suffer on behalf of it, because that's a brand and a logo they could probably get away with that on, right? I rest my case. Do something about officiating. One side little note, actually, I say I rest my case. I'm a youth pastor. I have a degree in Bible. Man has been complicating things since the beginning of time. God gave us 10 commandments, 10 laws, and they're extremely simple Simple but not easy, for a lot of us. 10 of them. Man went and added over 600. What is targeting? What is it? Florida and Texas A&M. A helmet hits a dude's butt, and they call that targeting. Kentucky and Georgia. Georgia player rips the helmet off of a Kentucky player, and they call face mask on Kentucky. We have got to simplify this game. Now, I rest my case. So let's talk about the game for just a moment. Aside from the officiating, LSU walked out of Williams-Brice with a win. 2 reasons. 1, officiating. 2, Lenore Sellers got hurt. Lenore Sellers got hurt. And the backup for South Carolina, Robbie Ashford, the Auburn transfer, who has a really good ability to put the ball on the ground and run, really good running instincts. Passing, though, not his jam. If it's not quick, if it's not a quick read with the ball out, it's trouble. It's trouble. So you can pretty much anticipate defensively what's coming. So just corral the guy. So Lenore Sellers goes down. He was 9 for 16, 113 yards, and a pick. His pick was overthrown, not a good decision, whatever. But he's the reason that they are able to compete on that side of the ball. He's the reason. He was responsible for a 75-yard touchdown run. He totaled 88 total yards on the ground. I am going to go ahead and compare him. I think he will get better. I think this guy is going to get better. But stay with me just for a moment as I make this comparison. Josh Dobbs. Solid kid, good dude, it factor, good talent, is going to cover the sins of his head coach. He's going to bring some kind of success. Now, I don't know if it's going to show up on the win column, but he's going to bring some kind of success to South Carolina, and Shane Beamer's going to get to take the credit for that when it's going to be Lenore Sellers. And I expect this kid to only get better and better and better. But this kid goes down. He gets hurt. It's another reason why they lost this game, because Robbie Ashford just doesn't have it. I like this kid. I like Robbie Ashford. I like him as a runner. Matter of fact, on a 66-yard touchdown run from Rocket Sanders, they go for a 2-point conversion. Robbie Ashford pulls one out of his hat through the air and gets it. Mind blown. If Robbie Ashford is your quarterback going forward, South Carolina's in trouble, which is mind-blowing to me, because I would have told you from the get. South Carolina was already in trouble before we kicked the ball off on the 2024 season, right? Other couple notes on South Carolina, Rocket Sanders. It's really good to see what I think is the 2021-22 version of Rocket Sanders. He looks leaner, looks like he got his step back. I'm happy for the guy. House to 66-yard run. This game blew the over. You're, again, 36-33 final. Your over was, I believe, like 48.5. Blew the over. LSU has got problems defensively. Nussmeier is, I believe, good enough. I think he's good enough. Defensively, though, you got problems. You got problems. Switching back to South Carolina just for a moment, we'll end the segment on them. Going into the Kentucky game for South Carolina, I said they both need this. They both need this. They both need the South Carolina-Kentucky game. They both needed to win that one, because that was going to dictate their future. And props to freaking South Carolina for going into Lexington, Kentucky, and handing the Wildcats one. Handing their butt to them. And then you get a chance to turn around and host LSU, and you got a real chance to win this game. You got a real chance to win this game. Your pass rush is something. This Dylan Stewart kid, he's a baller. He's going to arguably put some wins in your column as well. But I'm going to end it like this. Officiating took it right out from you. And that sucks. If you're a South Carolina fan, not from my perspective. Shane Beamer's over here fighting for his job. And the officiating crew, I can't believe I'm back on this. And the officiating crew not only took it from the players and disguised this crap as player safety, they didn't, all they did was screw the players. I mean, they made the play and they did no wrong. And now you're screwing Shane Beamer because this is not going to help his case when he is continuing to play and fight for his job. It's not going to get any easier for those guys. It will next week. They'll play host to Akron. They should walk out over there 3-1, right? But they did, struggle bus with Old Dominion. And then they're going to host Ole Miss. Juice Wells is going to want his. Then you're going to travel to Tuscaloosa and then Norman, Oklahoma. And then you're going to host the Aggies of Texas A&M. You should get one against Vanderbilt and Nashville. You're going to host Missouri. You're going to host Wofford. And you're going to play at Clemson. You don't have many more wins on this thing. You just don't. You had a real chance to do something right there. And it's an absolute shame that the officiating crew stepped in and took that away. Absolute shame. Nonetheless, LSU goes into Columbia, gets a win, 36-33.